Hi, this is Paul from Super Deluxe Edition, and today we're going to look at the Neil Young Original Release Series. Now these are two box sets that have been released last week, actually Friday last week. There was very little stroke nothing said about these officially by Warner Brothers. They were listed on Amazon.com originally for a long time. Eventually came to the UK. The price in the UK is like 60 quid I think for each of these. Very expensive. And there was lots of debate over whether these would be jewel case, whether they'd be vinyl replica CDs. Is it worth actually paying out the extra for these box sets? Well, we can have a look now at each box. I'm going to take you through it. First off, this is the second box, so this is discs 5 to 8. And as the sticker on the front will show you, this includes Time Fades Away, On the Beach, Tonight's the Night, and Zoomer. Now, even though the outer box isn't exactly great quality, it's kind of lightweight card. You may have spotted just then that these do indeed come in vinyl replica form. So these aren't just jewel cases with a thin booklet, they're a little bit better than that. In fact, the sticker makes a point of telling you something that the record company didn't tell anyone in advance about, which is that these include historically accurate artwork and they're remastered from the original analog studio recordings. So these are remastered. So here's the first box. Now we'll see in a minute that the CDs are very well packaged, but the box itself, for something which is £60 on Amazon, I mean it's just a very thin card box. So that's a little bit disappointing. So moving on to the CDs, have a look at Time Fades Away first. These are, I wouldn't say these are Japanese standard vinyl replicas, but they are the larger size. And there's the disc for Time Fades Away. Also included in Time Fades Away is this original fold out lyric sheet. That's the rear. None of these are gatefolds, but they're all fairly thick in terms of the spine, the width of the spine. So that's Time Fades Away. On the Beach has of course been released separately previously, and it was a mini LP vinyl replica then. So this fairly much replicates what we've had before. It feels a little glossier maybe, but it does maintain some of the details from before. Notably that inside you've got that kind of yellowy flower wallpaper pattern printed on the inside of the cards. That's nice attention to detail. No inner sleeve for the CD for On the Beach, but you do get another lyric sheet. I mean, these are very nice quality, they're not cheap particularly. So credits on that side. And yeah, these aren't actually lyrics, in fact. This is a note from Rusty Kershaw, who plays on the album. So that's On the Beach. Now, Tonight's the Night, actually I said none of these were gatefolds. That's actually not correct, because Tonight's the Night is a gatefold. So it's matte on the outside and glossy on the inside, as you can probably see. But this is the first time this has ever been issued with this kind of packaging. And on this one you do actually get a printed inner sleeve, which presumably replicates the original. And there's the CD. Again, you get a fold out sheet here. Brilliant album, Tonight's the Night. A lot of people seem to dislike it, but it's a bit of a classic, I think. And finally in this box, this is Zoomer. Very distinctive design and packaging. That's quite thick, the contents of Zoomer. So we do get an inner sleeve on this one. In fact, bizarrely, if you look here, Actually included 2 copies of the CD for some reason. I don't think that's supposed to happen, so I wouldn't go expecting it. And again, folded lyric sheet inside the CD case. There's a bit of a texture to this. It's quite hard to describe. It's not glossy, it's not matte, but there's a slight texture to it. So that's the first box. That's discs 5 to 8. Moving on to the second box, 8.5 to 12. So what you're going to find in this box set is 5 albums this time, not 4. And they are Long May You Run, American Stars and Bars, Comes a Time, Rust Never Sleeps, and then the live album Live Rust. So going through these one by one, Long May You Run, it has a very glossy cover to it. Certainly on the front, I don't think it's glossy on the back. And then sort of no inner sleeve, but another one of these folded sheets. So that's the lyric sheet there. So American Stars and Bars. So no inner sleeve for the CD. But this is all nicely reproduced from the original album. Right, Comes a Time, out of these 2 box sets, Comes a Time has to be the poorest. Quite nice outer sleeve, but so it's just a white inner sleeve and then the CD. Rust Never Sleeps. So on this one you do get a printed inner sleeve. There's the CD. And in addition to the printed inner sleeve, another lyric sheet here. And finally, Live Rust. This is a gatefold as well. And then no inner sleeve, but this little booklet is recreated here. It's only 4 images, but it's quite nicely done. So they are the 5 albums that form part of this second box set. So what you've got here are 9 Neil Young albums, all really well packaged, presented in 2 box sets. On Amazon UK, these are a bit on the pricey side, and it's questionable whether you want to pay £60 for 4 or 5 albums in this kind of packaging. But we don't know how limited these are. Warner Brothers have given out no information whatsoever. In fact, it wasn't really confirmed what the packaging was like until these came out, the day they came out last week. They're certainly a step up from the jewel case kind of budget version of box set number 1. These aren't gold discs, so box set number 1 was out as a more expensive limited edition with gold CDs originally. I think you could only get that from Neil Young's website. These are a bit more in line with that, but they're not gold CDs, they're just normal CDs. So this is Paul from Super Deluxe Edition looking at the Neil Young original release series box sets.